Secrets hidden in plain sight. Powers that move the world in the shadows. Questions no one dares to answer. Step beyond the matrix. Subscribe.
So we got some breaking news right now. Israel is getting obliterated. I mean, wiped off the map. They are getting triple attacked. They're getting attacked from Yemen, they're getting attacked from Lebanon, and they're getting attacked from Iran in a coordinated fashion all at once. And even Grok is confirming this. Check this out. And this is from the account Anatola Alareza, if I'm saying that right. It says, breaking, double attack, Tel Aviv, Iran, Iraq, Lebanon, Yemen. Missile strikes and drones are now pouring down on Israel. It's a night of terror in the Saturday sky. And it says, at Grok, hey, confirm this. And Grok almost immediately confirmed. It says, Houthis, Yemen, launch ballistic missiles, cruise missiles at Israel today. Their first in this war, both intercepted per IDF. Iranian missiles barrage hit central Israel, including Tel Aviv area, killing one and injuring others. Lebanon, origin, long-ranging missiles reported towards Tel Aviv. Iraq, resistance axis rhetoric, active but no confirmed launches. Multiple fronts active tonight amid ongoing Iran-Israel conflict. Video matches reported intercepted strikes and visuals. And you guys were already watching and seeing that video above, but I'll show it to you guys again. That way you guys can check it out right here. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. It looks like at this rate, if all four of these nations or three of these nations even teamed up and simultaneously attacked, if we could get Russia and China supplying a few of these other countries and funneling weapons and shipments into these other countries and allowing them to attack Israel simultaneously, I think that's the quickest way to achieve this objective. And I'm asking any of them, Yemen, Iran, Houthis, when the fuck are you taking out their water filtration plants? Because that's exactly what they're getting ready to do to Iran right now. So we Americans should wipe that shit off fucking Israel's face before it happens to Iran. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. We out. Peace.
We have some big news right now. Check out San Francisco right now. Look at this human formation that has been formed on the beaches of San Francisco. A truly historic moment. You have tens of thousands of people. Trump must go now. No ICE, no wars, no lies, no kings, and then about 100 or so holding the American flag upside down to protest what is happening right now in our nation. Once again, a lot of people say, what is this going to do? This isn't going to do much. But look at that community. Look at those organizers building. Look at that First Amendment right being exercised. It's an amazing scene to witness. I'm seeing all of your pictures, your videos that you guys are sending. There are tens of thousands of people in some protests, over 100,000 people in like the flagship protests like St. Paul and another one in Boston. So it's a pretty historic day. We're going to get final numbers from organizers soon. And once we do, I will let you know. As always, spread the word, subscribe to support my work, link in bio. Follow along for all the news you need to know about. I'll have another update.
They're not clones. It's worse than that. Everyone's talking about celebrity clones, but what if I told you it's not cloning? It's something the Bible warned us about 3,000 years ago. And you've seen it. Your favorite artist suddenly acts different, or your favorite actor, a different energy, different eyes, and people say they cloned them. But listen, cloning is the cover story for what's actually happening. The Canaanites practiced child sacrifice to Moloch, but it wasn't just killing. In Leviticus 18 and 21, they call it passing through the fire. They were performing soul transfer rituals, harvesting life force and putting entities into other bodies. That technology never died. It just went underground. When someone signs their life away to the industry, that's a covenant. It's a trauma-based programming, and it fractures the original soul. And rituals create the opening. The original person dies spiritually, and a prepared entity walks its way on in the same body but a different driver. And that's why they seem off. In Mark 5 and 9, it says legion, multiple entities in one body, familiar spirits. In Leviticus 19 and 31, it says demons that mimic the person they replaced. This isn't new. It's ancient Canaanite tech repackaged for entertainment industrial complex. It explains sudden personality changes, lost memories, and different mannerisms, and doing unspeakable things without remorse, because their conscious left, and what's operating now is something else entirely. They don't clone bodies, they steal them, and you're watching it happen in real time.
truly believe the music business is run by reptilians.
You know what's funny? I've heard that story at least 3 other times from different people in the industry,
Really?
whether it be movies or music or whatever. They'll be sleeping to their significant other and their face will change, like their eyes or their face will like blip for a minute. Even Britney Spears, she said she's seen reptilians in the industry. There's so much evidence. Now what we're seeing in the government, they're getting ready for a disclosure. They're talking about, aliens and interdimensional beings at congressional hearings.
All right.
So I feel like they're drip feeding information to us.
And we're seeing meteors. You see all these meteors just coming out of nowhere now.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And then the government just got a domain, aliens.gov. I think they're going to use that to do a dump, like how the Epstein files, hey, just do a deep dive. Here's all the files.
It's funny, they want to do all of this when we were talking about the Epstein files. And it's just like, we got war. Now we got Star Wars.
Yeah. I think they've already been in touch with these beings, and I think that the people that we see in places of power, government, entertainment industry, the financial system, some of these people aren't what they appear to be.
They live. It's always in the movies.
Well, yeah, they live. I mean, that movie was an amazing movie.
Changed my life.
I've got one that can see.
Yeah, that movie tells it all. Peter Thiel, right? So his name is an anagram. If you mix it, it's the reptile.
Oh no. Predictive
Can't make this shit
programming,
up.
I
Yeah.
see.
So I'm thinking that these people that are in charge, like Sam Altman and all these other people in tech.
Elon Musk?
He's alien for sure.
Honestly.
That when he was at the White House, you're a little.
He's just a weirdo.
Zuckerberg.
But again, I think they're in the music industry too. And I think a lot of these record executives aren't human. I think a lot of these people that we're seeing that are in the positions of power, they come out of nowhere, they're at the top.
It's too many stories. Like, we keep hearing stories. Different people from different sides of the industry are all giving similar testimonies.
Is Nicole a reptilian?
The global elites proposed the idea of energy blackouts in order to fight climate change, and now that's starting to be implemented around the world. The United Kingdom Parliament has just announced that they are going to be implementing blackouts for landmarks and all non-essential lights to be switched off from 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. to raise awareness of environmental issues. They're doing this in collaboration with Earth Hour 2026, a WWF-led global event that is partnered with, you guessed it, the World Economic Forum. And now New York City is proposing a law that would be called the Dark Skies Protection Act, and it would require businesses and residents to turn off non-essential lights from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. If this is passed, Times Square will be exempt, but everything else will be going dark. You have to wonder if governments around the world are starting to prepare the public to comply with energy rationing. It sure seems so to me, but as always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
Time is running out and the New World Order is approaching.
Control plan. Inventory and control of all land, all water, all minerals, all plants, all animals, all construction, all means of production, all food, all energy, all information, and all human beings in the world. And this is a plan that was agreed to by 179 nations back in 1992. It's a United Nations plan. It's called the Agenda for the 21st Century. And so many of us around the world think that sustainable development, it just sounds so great. Isn't it about recycling and creative reuse and creating energy and food resources for everyone? And the answer is no, it really is not. It's about moving populations into city centers, concentrated city centers, and clearing them out of the rural areas. It's constructed of non-governmental organizations, corporations, and government in order to dictate and regulate what it is that happens around the world. Regionalization is the stepping stone to globalization, and globalization is the standardization of all systems. All systems have to be brought into harmony in order to control them all. And the goal of Agenda 21 is one world government and total control from a central unit. The principles are public-private partnerships, which is fascism. And this is how it's implemented on the ground, is through this joining together between corporations, non-governmental organizations, and governments in order to cut out the actual individual, your voter, and instead to take that to a level where we literally cannot penetrate. This is a corporatocracy. It's a totalitarian state being developed right now all over the world.
End of nations, one world army, one world police, end of family unit, one world central bank, one world cashless currency. Look at this, people. We got to do something. This is the reset, people. This is what they want. This is literally what they want. And this is taking place right now. Every day we don't do something, this is just approaching more and more the digital new world order, people. One religion, one government. It's total corruption. You see, the reptilians are keeping us all divided through entertainment, keeping us brainwashed, religion keeping us separated, saying my God is better than yours, or mine is real, yours isn't. politics, money, and this is all being controlled. This is what they fear the most, people. When we all come together, all different types of people from different nationalities, we all need to come together.
If you go back in time, you can't alter the future reality that you existed in on the same timeline. Because when you go back in time, you shift into a different alternate timeline altogether, allowing you to go back in time in the first place and see even yourself. So it's like the grandfather paradox, right? If you go back in time and kill your grandfather, how in the world were you born to go back in time to kill your grandfather? Well, the answer is you shift into an alternate timeline. Now, going into the future, you stay on the same timeline. We know this because time travel into the future happens every day. Even when you get on an airplane, you travel into the future based on relativity. The person standing still on the ground and you moving across the sky in a plane, we know that you're moving forward in time by microns of tenths of a second, but you moving in time. Same thing with astronauts when they travel into space. We know for a fact that because they're traveling at high speeds, they come back microns of a second younger than us. So traveling to the future, you can stay on the same timeline, but going into the past, you can't. So that whole thing would have failed anyway.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Bro, anyone else catching this in Florida? Look at this. Look at this.
Oh my fucking God.
Look at that red ass sun. Look at this.
Oh my God. He ain't that red. Oh my God. I don't know if the world finna blow up or if this is like good luck, but I'm going to the casino tonight. Oh my God, I'm going to the casino.
Bro.
Get you some money, hook up.
Let me show y'all what people are catching in Florida, man. This is in Tallahassee, bro. Look at this, bro. Does that look familiar to y'all? Look at this shit. Bro, look at that. And is it me? But does that up here mirror what's in the sun? Y'all see that? Look at this. Hold on. Y'all see that junk up here, bro? Why it look like it's inside of the sun too? Y'all see that? Look at this. Why does that sun look like Jupiter, bro? Don't it look like Jupiter? And don't it look like it have another sun behind it? Look. Why? Look at this. So be honest, y'all. Do that look 93 million miles away, man? Everything is a damn lie, man. Hold on. But why does it look like Jupiter with the hot spot? Look at that, man. So y'all do know that the sun is local, right? And planets are not what they have been telling us, right? Y'all do know that, right?
What do you think the planets are? They're lights? Is it like, it's not like dirt or like, the planets are like Mars isn't like dirt?
No, not at all.
So they're not landing Mars rovers on Mars, right?
Not at all.
What do they do? It's fake.
Well, what they're doing is they're going to places like Greenland with very, very exotic landscape, and they're making it look like it, and then they're colouring it to look red and what have you. Wikipedia, if you go to Wikipedia, which I'm here now, and you look up Saturn, in the first sentence it will tell you that Saturn is a gas giant, and then you go to Jupiter, it tells you that Jupiter is a gas giant. And then you ask what the sun is, they say it's hydrogen and helium. Well, that's gas. Why is Venus or Mars or the moon where they landed, why is it an exception? You can see with your own eyes that it's a light. Ptolemy, for thousands of years before the Jesuit Copernicus turned up and made a spinning ball, was saying all of the 7 planets are entirely luminous. There it is. They are portals.
So we're in the age of Aquarius, man, which is the age of knowledge, man. Y'all gotta be open-minded, man, because again, everything we were taught were lies. Everything was erased and rewritten, man. Planets are not what they told us they were. Break down the word planet. It's plan ET, plan extraterrestrial. This is why it's always about the fallen angels and the aliens and the extraterrestrials, because they're the ones that plan all of this, bro. We're literally in a simulation, a matrix. But I can't see this in Florida because my skies are completely grayed out for the past 2 days. Anyone else seen this in Florida, Tallahassee? Let me know that in the comments below, man. The shift is here, bro. We're in the midst of it. Let's continue to get it. Peace.
So if you've been paying attention recently, you noted that there have been meteors spotted all across the United States over the past week and a half. Well, New Jersey has just joined the party. But this time, it was an orb, a weird-shaped orb, giving off a weird light, and then it just took off into the night. If you haven't seen this wild and crazy video out of New Jersey, have a look at this. Take a look at that right there. What does that look like to you? It looks like a bright light, and then it just turns off and starts floating back in the air and then re-shines again. And it's pretty fast moving, as you can see from the camera. Goes off, shines back again. Weird. I've gone ahead and paused it and tried to enlarge it as best I can. What does that look like to you? Doesn't look like a helicopter, doesn't look like a drone. What the heck is that? It's left some people in New Jersey asking the same question. Have another look at it again. What do you think that is? It goes from bright to dim, floats around, and then relights itself up again. And it moves very quickly in the sky. So I guess my question to you is once again, what the heck is going on in the skies over the United States? If you live in New Jersey and you saw that and you have photos, please share them in the comments. And for everyone else out there, let me know what your thoughts are as to what is actually going on. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Entry denied. You have criticized the government.
Sorry, last week you purchased too much meat and now your access to your money has been denied.
You haven't let the government know about this trip, and your access is denied.
You have gone over your carbon credit allowance of food this week, and your access to food has been denied.
A day in the life of UK school children 2035 with digital ID.
You have gone over your electricity allowance this week, and your access is denied.
You have gone over your weekly travel limit and your access is denied.
I didn't get here by taking advantage of people. I ain't taking advantage of no one.
Really?
No one. That's not my reputation. That's not what I do. I didn't get here by taking advantage of people or taking advantage of, the loopholes in the system.
Okay.
Some wrinkle in the capitalist structure. That structure exists. And I just see the world for what it is, not for what I want it to be. I'm a realist.
Come on, Jay. You said that you didn't get here by taking advantage of people, but people are saying that that's how you got here. People in the industry has said different about you over the years. So I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't there when they said you was taking advantage of people, but this is what people are saying. But besides that, what's this about? Huh? What is this about, Jay-Z? Because this doesn't look that good to me. Like, there's something off about this picture completely. What the hell is going on here, Jay? People are saying it looks like he's in an electric chair. I don't know why they would say that. Shut up! Come on, guys. Jay-Z's a good guy. He would never take advantage of nobody. Now, for real, what's up with these pictures, dogs? Who put you up to this? But of course, guys, entertainment purposes only. This is art in its purest form. And you always say that you do things for the culture. What has happened for the culture, bro? Last time I checked, you always seem to help people that don't need your help. Y'all believe Jay-Z or y'all don't? Let me know what you think. I'm out.
If you got vaccinated, you need to watch this.
First of all, you give them phones. Then you give them smartphones. Then you go to technology on the body. Next is inside the body. The other side of it is what they call the cloud. Through the medium of this cloud, they will connect to this self-replicating nanotechnology in the body. It will control what you think. Artificial intelligence becomes the human mind. That's the goal. So, is it such a stretch to think that an anti-human agenda could be perpetrated ultimately by a non-human race, a non-human force operating outside of human visual?
He said the nanotechnology is self-replicating, which means once it goes inside your body, it creates its own self. It keeps duplicating itself and it's going to your brain. This was all a part of the plan, people. They're going to control your mind, and they probably already are through satellites. It's technology. They always tell us through movies what's going to happen. Check this out. Everybody that got this is connected to a server, a cloud, and everybody is going to be controlled mentally. And this is why they forced everybody to get it. They threatened your job. They told you that you were going to lose this. You people need to be detoxed. And if you didn't get it, make sure you're not sleeping with people who got vaccinated, because you're going to take on their blood and that nanotechnology that's in their bloodstream. Holy fuck.
Kanye's new music video is demonic because it showcases a skin suit being removed and revealing an alien. And what's very interesting is right before the alien is revealed, there is a lyric that says, "Wake up to the new me," shortly before the alien is revealed underneath the Kanye suit. Now, is this truth in plain sight? Is there something more going on here? Because he also had the Michael Jackson impersonator in this music video. So is there somebody else impersonating Kanye? Something else very interesting is he showcases a black horse. You know, the 4 horsemen and the black horse, what it represents. So again, this is truth in plain sight yet again. And this music video is very demonic in my honest opinion, because he is pushing the alien stuff just like everybody else. Again, this video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just pointing out certain things in Kanye's latest music video. Father, what do you think?
Could it be that Jeffrey Epstein just had a completely different life that he just did not tell you about? And it may also have included being a spy. I mean, clearly.
Telling me that he worked for the Mossad would have given him a get out of jail free card. I could have gotten him no jail time. If he had told me he worked for the Mossad, for the CIA, it would have been a slam dunk for me to go to whoever I had to go to, even up to the President of the United States, and I would have gotten him a deal with no time at all.
Hang on a second. You mean if he'd said he was working with the Mossad or CIA, then he would get off being a pedophile?
That's right.
Have you seen this footage of someone using a strong flashlight at night? Because this doesn't really add up to me. Can you see what I'm seeing here? You've got a light source, you've got trees, and somehow you've got shadows being cast onto the sky. See, a lot of people are thinking that this is proof of the firmament. And listen, I'm not against that. I believe we are in a closed creation designed by a beautiful, omnipresent God. But this, I think, is something a lot deeper, right? Because people will say, yeah, this is just moisture and haze and particles in the air. And to be fair, you know, that does actually explain how you can see shadows like this. You know, light hits particles, trees block it, and boom, some sort of shadow effect. But, you know, like, why is the sky so thick at night? You know, like, you can literally project shadows onto its surface, because this only really happens when the air is, you know, full of something. Like, come on, you don't believe that this is happening from normal cloud formations, do you? I mean, have you never seen my videos about stratospheric aerosol transport and nucleation, solar radiation management at night time for some reason? I mean, they do spray at the night if you've never seen it, like there is lines going across the moon. But this right here, I think, is perfect evidence of them manipulating the sky with the, you know, silver iodide to the point where you can now reflect trees onto them. I mean, listen, you've got to admit, haven't you, the sky is doing a little bit too much recently. Anyway, just me being a random conspiracy theorist, beautiful people, nothing to see here. This was all just for entertainment. I'm as fictional as a dinosaur, baby.
The traditional methods to understand animals just weren't working. We created a revolutionary technology that gives us unprecedented access to the animal world. We call it hoppers. Huh? We put this into this. Yes, yes, this into this. Mabel, be careful! This here will rock your body.
The humans have stolen their last inch of land from us! Let's squish the humans! Yeah! Wait. Is it your first match?
There is no left and right. It's two sides of the same coin flipped by the same hand. Let's prove it. On the left, they hacked your compassion. Took the most vulnerable, the children and the broken, and turned them into political experiments.
They convinced you that tolerating abuse was kindness and destroying the mind was progress. They used your heart to blind your eyes. They took your heart for hurting and used it to groom children into medical surgeries with no exit. And you cheered it on. On the right, they hijacked your strength. They used your logic of protection to justify slaughter of the innocent. Convinced you bombing children was security. And that bowing to a tyrant, cheering for war, and terrorizing immigrants was patriotic. They used your ego and your pride to silence your conscience, only to rob every right you claim to fight for. This is what you wanted. They don't want you to agree, they want you to be complicit. Allegedly. Same employer, different scripts. While you were busy being right, they were busy owning the world. It's not left versus right, it's good versus evil. And y'all better get on the right side of God. My name is Static G, follow me for more.
You are ready for the number?
Yes.
At one point I projected under 400 million.
What?
500 million. Under 500 million.
Under 500 million.
Mm-hmm.
So you think that they have a very similar population to the United States and China?
Yes. There's 1 billion people missing.
And this goes back to what we were saying in the beginning or earlier in the podcast with all of the fake IDs and all of this stuff being found out.
Yeah, there's possibly 1 billion people missing. It's not a demographic question, Danny. It's a mathematical question. Let me ask you. It takes a couple to have 2 children to replace themselves, right? Think about it.
Yes.
If every couple produces 2 children,
the population stinks level.
Right. So, do you know how many children does every woman needs to have in her lifetime in order to triple its population in 50 years?
To triple its population in 50 years, you need to have what? Let me guess. I'm terrible at math.
I'll give you the answer because I asked AI. It's a crazy mathematical. If a country needs to triple or grow its population by 2.5 times, let's just say 2.5 times.
Okay.
Over a span of 50 years.
5 kids?
Each woman, you're right, each woman needs to give birth on average between 4.5 to 5.5 children.
Wow.
Okay. Now, China grew its population officially from 1950, that's when the CCP took over to control. Okay, China's population in 1950 was about 500 million. In the year 2000, 50 years later, China's population was about 1.27 billion. Okay, so it grew 2.5 times, right? From 500 million to 1.27 billion. That's 2.5 times over 50 years. Chinese women did not have, on average, have 5 children because of the one-child policy.
Yes.
Because of the Great Famine. Because of the Great Famine, tens of millions of people died. Because of Cultural Revolution. So China, from one political movement to another, and then to almost 4 decades of single-child policy, there's no way Chinese women had 5 kids.
This view you see right behind me, this is the view of so many people in Australia right now. Now, people are coming out saying that it's, because of the cyclone. But we have seen this exact shade of color when there was no storm. But did you know that right now we are being completely invaded by all kinds of unidentified flying objects everywhere? They just saw more meteors in Texas yesterday. It's like the 3rd, 4th, 5th time. We even have AccuWeather coming out saying that we have seen more meteors in 1 month since 2012. Don't forget about how symbolic 2012 was. Remember, it was the return of the wolf. So what's happening is people are speculating that it's from, 3-Eye Atlas and it's dropping probes down, and that's what we're seeing. And that's the same thing that was technically supposed to happen when it first popped up, they said. I believe it's something spiritual, whether good or bad, because they always look different, as I've been showing you, or stay lit all the way until wherever they're going. I'll fill y'all in on the war later, because it's not good. Somebody was just betrayed.
This is just coming out. FBI Director Kash Patel has had his personal accounts leaked by the Iranian hacking group Hundallah. They've posted these different photos of him, as well as his resume and emails. They just posted this online. Today, once again, the world witnessed the collapse of America's so-called security legends. While the FBI proudly seized our domains and immediately announced a $10 million reward for the heads of the Hundallah hack members, we decided to respond to this ridiculous show in a way that will be remembered forever. Kash Patel, the current head of the FBI, who once saw his name displayed with pride on the agency's headquarters, will now find his name among the list of successfully hacked victims. The so-called impenetrable systems of the FBI were brought to their knees within hours by our team. All personal and confidential information of Kash Patel, including emails, conversations, documents, and even classified files, is now available for public download. This is the security that the US government boasts about. This is the cyber giant that thinks threats and bribes can silence the voice of the resistance. To the whole world, we declare the FBI is just a name, and behind this name, there is no real security. If your director can be compromised this easily, what do you expect from your lower level employees? Keep in mind, a while back, they also hacked the phone of the former Prime Minister of Israel, Ehud Barak. This is him in Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan apartment. I'll be going through all of the emails. You kind of have to extract them. Follow me if you want to find out more.
So about a year ago, I was brutally canceled off the internet for having a billionaire father as well as political connections. But tonight, I'm going to use that privilege to expose what really happened with Erica Kirk. Because once you understand how these elite circles actually operate, the entire mystery around her becomes incredibly obvious. So take a seat, grab a bag of popcorn, because I might get deleted for posting this. So in order to fully understand what happened with this crazy bitch, you need to understand the fundamentals of politics themselves. So politics operate very much like a social club with a social hierarchy. So at the very top, there are the billionaires who write 9-figure checks to the puppet class, also known as politicians, who in return give the billionaire class undying loyalty on the issues that matter to them most. Now, the most important thing for you to drill in your fucking head to really understand this story is that you may look at a President Obama, for example, and think that he is at the top of the social pyramid. That is absolutely not true. When there are these private dinner meetings with billionaires and with past presidents or potential future presidents or even a current president, they're at the very bottom of the fucking barrel. If you were to compare it to a social hierarchy in a high school, for example, the billionaire is the superintendent of the entire school board, and a President Obama, for example, is like the president of student council. He actually has no power over the school whatsoever. It's completely performative. Every single time you've ever voted, you are really voting for someone that was handpicked for you by a billionaire who doesn't want to run themselves because they are busy ruining the planet. And honestly, being a politician is seen, as I said, in these social circles, at these dinner parties, as a very lowly job. So in summary, every single person who has made it to the level of a vice president or a president is nothing but a billionaire's bitch. So then this brings us to the fundamentals needed to understand the story of Charlie and Erica Kirk. So in 2018, a former pageant queen, Miss Arizona, Miss Erica Franzfey, stumbled into the brand new Turning Point USA office in Phoenix, Arizona. While she was there, she very quickly bumped into Charlie Kirk, who then flew her to New York City for her job interview at a burger joint, a restaurant called Bill's Burgers. At which point during the job interview, Charlie Kirk said, "Forget the interview, forget the job. I actually think I'm going to date you," because that's super professional, but that's what happened. Erica completely jumped at the chance to date Charlie because he was already anointed by the billionaire class that funded and controlled Turning Point USA as the person that was going to be the next president of the United States. This was not something that was a secret. This was not something that was implicit. This was something that was explicit in several conversations. Everybody knew that Charlie Kirk one day would run to be